If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that
The morning the scandal broke felt like any other, coffee in hand, scrolling the headlines, until one name stopped everything cold: Sunny Hostin's husband under investigation. It wasn't about her fiery takes on The View. This time, the spotlight had shifted to Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, respected orthopedic surgeon and founder of orthopedics and sports medicine. Dr. Hostin now finds himself at the center of a legal firestorm. What started as quiet rumors has exploded into a massive RICO lawsuit, accusing him and 179 others of insurance fraud, illegal kickbacks, and being part of a sprawling criminal enterprise. This isn't just a scandal. It's a legal thriller in real time, raising serious questions about medical ethics, corruption, and how deep the rot runs in a system where power and profit collide. So how far does this go? What does it mean for the Hostins, and for the industry at large? One thing's clear: this case is just getting started. And if what's come out so far is any clue, we're in for one hell of a story. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stick with us, because this is only the beginning.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The RICO Act, originally created in the 1970s to take down the mafia, is now being used to target an entirely different kind of operation: the healthcare industry. That's right, this time, it's not mob bosses in the hot seat. It's doctors, surgeons, and entire medical networks accused of running a white-collar crime ring straight out of a primetime thriller. The center of it all? Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, husband of The View's Sunny Hostin. Prosecutors say he's part of a sophisticated scheme to defraud the healthcare system, alongside nearly 180 other defendants. The allegations: kickbacks for unnecessary surgeries, inflated billing, and even procedures that may never have happened at all. Imagine patients being wheeled into operating rooms they didn't need, while insurers foot the bill and money changes hands behind closed doors. If true, it's more than unethical, it's criminal. And under RICO, this isn't just about one bad actor. It's about taking down an entire alleged network built on greed. RICO cases are serious. They're sweeping, complex, and built to expose criminal enterprises from the inside out. If these charges stick, it could upend careers, reputations, and possibly the structure of medical oversight itself. And the scariest part? This may be just the beginning.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's
Now here's where things get really juicy and deeply unsettling. This lawsuit doesn't just hint at wrongdoing or toss around vague insinuations. It flat out accuses Dr. Emmanuel Hostin of accepting financial incentives in exchange for recommending or performing arthroscopic surgeries. On the surface, these procedures, minimally invasive surgeries used to diagnose and treat joint problems, sound routine, even beneficial. They're the kind of thing patients trust their doctors to recommend only when truly necessary. But the legal filings tell a different story. According to prosecutors, many of these surgeries may have been performed without legitimate medical justification. That's right, people may have been talked into going under the knife for procedures they didn't actually need. And for what? Allegedly, so someone behind the scenes could cash in. So now, the uncomfortable question lingers: were these patients really suffering from shoulder tears or knee damage, Or were they unknowingly turned into pawns in a much larger money-making scheme? If the claims hold water, this goes far beyond sloppy record-keeping or even routine malpractice. This would represent a stunning betrayal of the sacred trust between doctor and patient. A violation so severe it makes even the wildest daytime soap opera plots look like child's play. Think about it. You walk into a clinic in pain, hoping for answers. You get prepped for surgery. You lie on that operating table, believing you're being helped. But instead, you may have been reduced to a dollar sign on a spreadsheet. That's not just unethical. That's devastating. And if proven true, the fallout won't just be legal, it will be deeply personal, with rippling effects across every patient who ever walked through those clinic doors thinking they were in safe hands.
Always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services.
But here's the twist in this already tangled legal drama. Standing on the other side of the courtroom is none other than American Transit Insurance Company. That's right. The plaintiffs behind this bombshell RICO lawsuit aren't federal prosecutors or defrauded patients, but a major insurance provider claiming it's been taken for a multi-million-dollar ride. According to their allegations, they were systematically scammed, billed for surgeries that were either medically unnecessary, grossly inflated in cost, or, in some cases, never performed at all. Picture this. You're footing the bill for filet mignon, and what you actually get is cold tofu wrapped in medical jargon, with a side of high-stakes fraud. It's a compelling accusation. But before we start handing out halos and painting American Transit as the plucky whistleblower in a white coat, let's not forget, insurance companies aren't exactly known for their moral high ground. In fact, they come with plenty of baggage of their own, underpaying doctors, delaying reimbursements, denying legitimate claims, and deploying legions of lawyers to avoid paying out a dime more than absolutely necessary. To some, they're more infamous for red tape than rectitude, so here's the million-dollar question. Is American Transit genuinely pulling back the curtain on a vast, coordinated healthcare scheme? Or is this just a corporate counterattack, an aggressive legal Hail Mary from a company hemorrhaging money and desperate to shift the blame? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. But one thing is certain, with reputations, livelihoods, and millions of dollars on the line, this courtroom isn't just about justice, it's a full-on battlefield, where every deposition and document dump is another volley in a war of high-stakes accusations. And as the case unfolds, one thing becomes clear. In this fight, there are no obvious heroes, only adversaries with competing narratives, deep pockets, and everything to lose.
According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and...
Dr. Hostin's lawyer, Dan Thwaites, fired back hard, calling the lawsuit a meritless stunt from a desperate insurance company trying to cover its own financial mess. He flipped the script, blaming American Transit for shady practices and painting them as the real bad guys. But then came a curveball. Joe Rogan jumped in. On his podcast, he tore into The View and Sunny Hostin, accusing her of hypocrisy, preaching morality on TV while allegedly ignoring her husband's shady dealings. His harshest jab? If you averaged the IQs of The View hosts, you'd still struggle to hit triple digits. Brutal, yes, but classic Rogan.
Saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
Harsh. Maybe. But Rogan's fans ate it up. Meanwhile, as Dr. Hostin fights for his career in court, Sunny, normally The View's loudest voice, has gone completely silent. No comment. No defense. No spin. Just nothing. For someone who takes on political firestorms daily, her silence is deafening. Is she standing by her man, quietly distancing herself, or waiting for her legal team to craft the perfect statement? Theories are everywhere. Some say she's protecting her brand. Others think she's trying not to become the next headline. But here's the kicker, this isn't just about Dr. Hostin. He's one of 180 defendants. This lawsuit alleges a massive, coordinated fraud involving doctors, clinics, even hospitals. If proven true, it could be one of the biggest healthcare scams in recent memory, an industry-wide con built on insurance loopholes and patient trust.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of the View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Twites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to wires.
It's like a heist movie, only instead of banks, the alleged criminals are bleeding insurance companies dry. But beyond the headlines lies a deeper question. How can we trust a healthcare system where profits come before patients? When doctors chase kickbacks and insurers dodge payouts, trust doesn't just fade, it collapses. And if American Transit is using this lawsuit to distract from its own financial mess, they're not heroes, they're part of the problem. Right now, Dr. Hostin hasn't been found guilty. These are just allegations. But the legal battle ahead? It's shaping up to be explosive. With 180 defendants, millions at stake, and reputations on the line, this case could crack open one of the biggest healthcare fraud scandals in years. Whether Dr. Hostin walks free or falls hard, one thing's clear, the system itself is under the microscope. So buckle up, because this drama is far from over. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll be right here, covering every twist. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and peace out.